Well, hello there, guys. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is Noob DM Ariel. It's another gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in Northern California. And I know this is a Dungeons and Dragons channel primarily, although once in a while we delve into the MMO arena because MMOs are so heavily influenced by the D&D game mechanics. I mean, when I think about 4th edition D&D, for example, I know that back, like 10 years ago now, when 4th edition actually came out, 10 or so years ago, 2008, 2010, around that time, Wizards of the Coast completely overhauled the game mechanics of D&D, and a lot of people complained because it was, I think I talked about this before, people didn't like the fact that it was too video gamey, and I think they were trying to take advantage of the popularity of MMOs that had been in themselves influenced by D&D game mechanics, such as World of Warcraft. But Warcraft was so popular, and games of that genre because of their, it's easy to jump in and create a character. And last time we went over character creation for both Neverwinter and Dungeons and Dragons Online, and we did a little bit of character creation footage for World of Warcraft. And right now, because it's early June, just a few days ago, we had Blizzard dropped the World of Warcraft Burning Crusade Classic, which is the second expansion to the classic World of Warcraft. So it's like 2007 all over again, because people are jumping in. And yesterday, for example, I went in to try to check out the population on the server that I like to play on Dark Age of Camelot, and it was like a ghost town. That's an old game anyway, but there was nobody around. And all the different games that I've MMOs that I've checked up, the older type that I like. It seems like everybody's playing Warcraft right now, and even the retail. I checked out my Death Knights and my retail characters, but there was not a whole lot of activity in the zones, So I thought what I would do today is I would focus on the Burning Crusade and talk about some of the game mechanics and let you know which servers are actually a good idea to join. Because the thing is, if you're playing an MMO, you don't want to be in a low population server. What's the fun of that? You want to be able to team up with your friends or team up with other people so that you can run dungeons and have as much fun as you can. Especially now that the Burning Crusade Classic is out. If you have a level 60 character, you're able to go into Outlands and you're able to enjoy some of that high level content. I don't. I think as you can see, on the Smolder Web PvP server, my highest character is this level 20 warrior, Undead Warrior, and it took quite a while to get him to level 20 because I don't have as much time to play as I used to. So maybe I consider myself a casual player. So we'll take a look and select the server, maybe create a new character, so that we can take a look at the population, the game mechanics, and some of the character creation on the new expansion, the Burning Crusade for World of Warcraft Classic. All right, guys. So here I am on the ironforge.pro website. I really like this site because what it allows players to do is to take a look at the server population, as it says, and class distribution of all the classic servers on Warcraft. But this is kind of outdated. This data came out, like it says here on the website, before the TBC pre-patch release. And then later on, I guess as they update the data with the new numbers for the Burning Crusade, they're going to archive the data they have for the classic, just World of Warcraft Classic. But and this data was starting from May 9th. So as you can tell, it's almost a month old. But a lot of this, I don't really think that this population data has really changed too much on the servers, because um, the the TBC expansion has only been out a couple of days at this as of this point. Um, so there's still a lot of there's not going to be a lot of fluctuation. Is what I'm trying to say. So I am on the my characters were I got characters on a PvP and PvE server because I used to be in this guild that was a um, all hunter guild. So all the characters were hunters, and it was way back about 3 years ago when Classic first came out. Can't believe it's been that long. But recently I jumped on Discord and I found a lot of the guildmates were still there and they were preparing for TBC. Obviously, by this point, most of their characters are max level 60 characters, but not all of them. At any rate, this is the website I recommend to take a look at the server population. Ironforge.pro servers, and I'll put a link on the description on the video. But basically, server population or the server that you pick in on any MMO will play a major difference because obviously in a game like Warcraft, you're gonna go either PvP or which is player versus player, or PvE. But whichever choice that you play, if you play on a PvE server, then you don't really have to worry too much about the distribution of the factions, because you're doing PvE content and you're not you're playing, so you don't care that much about getting ganked, or you don't want to get ganked while you're leveling up. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You pretty much just level on your own and go through the dungeons and everything else. And so my PvP server of choice was as I showed earlier, I was on the Smolder Web. We find Smolder Web on our list. Here we go. So Smolder Web is a US West PvP with, at the time that this website was updated almost a month ago, 1265 was the population, which is not very large, but none of these classic servers have really huge population. And it's a West Coast server, so most of the players are playing on West Pacific Standard Time, and the distribution, as you can see, is 46% 46% Alliance versus 54% Horde, which is pretty even, compared to like some of the other servers. Almost even number of players on each faction, which is what you want on a PvP server. You don't really want one faction to dominate over the other, because then that makes things kind of boring or unbalanced, and unbalanced servers kind of ruin the game, in my opinion. So I went with Smolder Web, and that's where I will be leveling up a character just in a little bit, just for demonstration purposes. And then if for the PvE server, I think I was on Mankirk. Let me find the Pve Realms. So here's Mankirk, and it's a PvE in an Eastern zone. But this is the one I chose because that's where my friends, or my virtual friends on the Hunter Guild, were playing. It didn't really matter because I didn't stay long enough to level up to do a max level character on Mankirk. But this is, as you can see, is very unbalanced when it comes 74% Horde to 26% Alliance as of a month ago. But like I said, it doesn't really matter that much in a PvE server because you're not worrying about player versus player. You're not worrying about getting attacked by the opposite faction. So all you have to do is kind of level on your own, group up with people for dungeons and all that good jazz. So that's the server that I chose. So that's my recommendation, to use this website as a guide before you even choose your server So, here's a Rotting Brain, which was our level 20 warrior. But let's create a new character on Smolder Web, which is the PvP server. And of course, we're gonna go Horde. So our choices are Orc, Undead, Tauren, Troll, or the Blood Elf. I do have a Blood Elf in the PvE server, which is all the way up to 10. So probably won't do Blood Elf. Female. It's a male. We'll go. If we go. Actually, I wanted to do Warlock as a class. Can Orcs be Warlocks? Yes, they can. But maybe an Undead Warlock would be cool. We already have an Undead Warrior, but we don't have a Warlock. So the Warlocks are empowered by demonic blood, and what's cool about them is just like the Hunter, they get like an imp, or they get like a pet, kind of like a demonic, or like a, not evil per se, but just like a pet that helps you level and tank, progress rather. So but you don't get it until like you get a quest. It's one of the class quests, which reminds me that I read this article on Polygon like years ago when I wanted to see how I could level up faster in the Warcraft Classic servers. And basically, to summarize, I'm not going to go through this whole article, but it's very interesting because it says it takes a hell of a long time to level up to max level, which is 60. Max level is 60 for Warcraft, for at least for the Classic. And they recommended some tips what you can do to actually enjoy leveling your character. So one of the recommendations they made is to use a leveling add-on, and I do have a leveling add-on installed on this version of the game. It's called Questy, and a lot of you probably are familiar with Questy. I would recommend using Questy because it makes in Classic, when you bring up your map, you don't know where to go because it doesn't hold your hand as much as the retail version of the game, where everything is kind of highlighted for you. So what Questy does is it actually gives you like spots, like where the quest givers are, what the zones are where you have to grind the mobs and fight against mobs, and it's a very helpful, and it gives you it tells you where to go in the zones, so you're not blind the whole time. I was kind of opposed to using that in the beginning, any add-on, because I wanted the true Classic experience, but how true is it really? I mean, there's a few minor changes that they made in the 10 years since the original TBC expansion came out. So I've thought about it. I was like, well, I think I'm gonna use the add-on. It's not really cheating, but it's a lot better, because if your intention is to max level your character, but you don't want to use a boost, I recommend going ahead and using the add-on. Okay, guys, here we are going to create this undead character so that I can show you the character creation in it's not too different from retail. It's basically the same, but you do have fewer choices because back in the day we only had 2, 3, 5 races, 5 races to choose from on each side, and the different classes, and a lot of the classes were not available depending on what race you chose. For example, the Tauren, I think it was after the 3rd expansion or the 4th. I think it was after the Cataclysm expansion around 2010, 2011, that they gave the Tauren the option to be a paladin. But before that, you didn't have they didn't have that option. You could only be a warrior, hunter, shaman. You only had those 4 options. I think the Blood Elf, oops, got disconnected from the server. I'm gonna logging again. what happens when you take your time and get kicked out of the server if you take too long on your character creation screen. Okay, getting back into the realm. I was saying that basically on the torrent side, oops, let's go back to create new character screen. I was saying that on the torrent side, you can be on the torrents, you can be a paladin now, but back in the day, until TBC dropped, back in the day, the blood elf was the I think was the only choice in terms of if you wanted to play a paladin. That's kind of what they look like. And so, but we're gonna go undead, and we're gonna go warlock. Kind of rad. Not gonna spend too much time on this character creation. Just kind of randomize it so you can see the options that you do have. You got a lot of options. I like their skin color to be closer to that. Well, that looks interesting. Hairstyle. Long hair. Something like that. So, what are the ratios? The undead they hunger for vengeance against the scourge, and the humans. So these are some of the ratios. They may become immune to fear, sleep, or charm. They may consume corpses to regain health. Underwater breathing increase. This is a good one because there are some quests that are underwater and you don't have to worry about breathing because you're undead, and they're resistant to shadow damage, which is also good. Warlocks are the bane of all life, empowered by demonic blood. They can inflict great torment upon their foes. Yeah, I like undead. Let's see. So let's give this guy a name. Skull and Bones. Skull. Yeah, do the whole thing. Skull. How about Skin and Bones? Skin and Bones. Yeah, that's good. Oh no! Somebody stole my Skin and Bones. Okay, damn it. This is always the hard part, coming up with an original name. Mr. Fight. That maybe? Mr. Frightful. Okay. Mr. Frightful 5. Oh, you gotta killing me. They don't even let you do numbers now. Undead. Undead Zerg. If I randomize, can I go get something cool? Gloomiest. Willie Loomis. How's that? Okay. Level 1 Warlock. And let's go. Now you can't really go into Outland unless you're level 60.
Will of the tyrant Lich King, The vast, undead armies of the Scourge seek to eradicate all life on Azeroth. Led by the Banshee Sylvanas Windrunner, a group of renegades broke away from the Scourge and freed themselves of the Lich King's domination. Known by some as the Forsaken.
Okay, so there we are. And we are born into undead life. Okay, so here we are in Death Knell. So the question is, how populated is the server? It's 4 o'clock. What time is it? It's 4:22 Pacific Standard Time, which is almost 7:30 Eastern. And if you do a who command, you can see that currently there are only two players in this early zone and this low level zone, and that's kind of like what I was talking about in terms of population. Obviously, a lot of the majority of the players by this point, if they're playing TBC, are going to be at the high levels, have max level characters, and their 60s are running around doing high level dungeons and quests and zones. So you're not going to get, depending on the server, time of day, and other factors, you might have to contend with lower populations, which is kind of a double-edged sword. It's good because you don't have to compete with other people to kill the mobs or to get some quest items, but it's bad because there's fewer people that you can group up with, right? You don't find the pugs running around that you do in other zones or at other times in the server. So, but this, like I said, this is because TBC has been even though TBC has only been out a couple of days, the hardcore players or the regular players have been leveling their characters in preparation, so they're all max level already, and they're doing endgame or well, level 60 to 70 type content. Now, the last thing I wanted to look at was whoa, these Wildhead. Now, going back to this PolyQuest article where they give you the tips on how to um, level faster. It does take a long time to level to 60 in Classic. I think it mentioned it'll take you about 187 hours on the average if you're going at a good rate. They did recommend the using of the add-on, which I would agree with. But there's one weird tip that they give, and it's to ignore your class quests, because they're saying you can, when you're depending on the class that you pick, a warrior, in this case, in our case, a warlock, there's some quest class quests that you get from your trainer that are specific to your class. And if you go to uh, to Wowhead Classic, it it gives you a very good breakdown of the different classes, class quests by class. Here we are, and so we can look at the Warlock class quests. If we go there, we see that at level 10, you'll get your first class quest from your trainer, and that's to summon the Void Walker quest. They say you can skip this, that it's optional, but why would you want to skip it? I mean, I'd like to get this class quest because you get a pretty powerful ally in terms of your summoning the Void Walker pet, and this pet is going to help you actually in tanking the mobs because he has a torment and a suffering ability, which allow you to free cast and preserve health. And you also get more health with the life tap ability. And then it tells you if you want to do the quest, it gives you a guide and you can kind of do that on your go through your own, check out what location to go to. And then you don't get another quest until another class quest until level 20, which is the summon the succubus quest. It's a level 20 quest that you do to get more rewards. So Wildhead Classic has a pretty good breakdown of these class quests, and Polygon says that you can skip them if you want to go faster. So it's really up to you. If you want to blaze through the content, it's gonna take a while to get through these. It takes a while to level through all the to get to max level on Classic anyway. So It's really primarily up to you what you want to what pace you want to do, or how much time you have to devote into um the questing grind. How much time you can devote to the grind. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to this video. This is all I have for you guys today. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be posting more. So I'll talk to you guys at a later time.